Hello and welcome to the Gotham Outsiders, another very special episode. Today we're going to be talking about Layne family adventures over on WEBTOONs with two of the creative team. But first, let me introduce my co-host TJ.
Hello, everyone. I'm usually not nervous doing these anymore, but I love this show so much. I'm shaking a little bit in my bat boots.
I am too. I've already said publicly on the show, this is my favorite Batman story, and we're talking to people from it.
So here with us, we have Maria Lee and Susan Cheng. Thank you both so much for coming.
Thanks so much for having us on. I'm so excited to be here, making our podcast debut.
It is an honor. Tell us both a little bit about yourselves. Maria, you're listed as working on the storyboards for the series, and Susan, you're listed under production. Can you both describe your roles day to day on the series for listeners who may not know what those terms mean? And by that, I mean me, because I'm like, I need to know.
Sure, yeah, I can go first. I work as the in-house art lead for WEBTOON sort of in-house production team. So for this particular series, it was when the DC deal came in, like I was a huge Batman fan since I was like a kid. So I was like, we have to do this. Everyone wants this, most of all me. So I talked to Susan about it and we sort of got it going. And so I came in to WEBTOON as a storyboard artist or a thumbnail artist. We call it both ways. And what I do on the series now is a sort of, I take the written scripts and then I do the first layout of like all the emotional beats, all the paneling, everything, so that the wonderful artist Starbite can just go ahead and draw, and he doesn't have to think about, you know, how the panels are going to be sort of organized and how the expressions are going to be. And the rest of the team continues and makes it beautiful, and you get what you see in the series.
That is so cool.
Yeah, we love what we see.
Yeah, and I'm a creative producer on the project, and it just kind of means I have my hand in everything. So after Maria came to me, I was really excited after kind of seeing the fan community around BatFam. And so for me, like, I think the biggest hurdle was kind of assembling the team of artists and writers who'd be working on it. And so my day-to-day is really just, I'm reviewing, looking at everything. So I'm looking at scripts, I'm looking at thumbnails, I'm looking at all of the art, whether revisions need to be made. I'm working with the amazing editor at DC, Katie Kubert. So it's just, honestly, it's a lot of checking emails. It's a lot of sending emails and just talking to everyone. And we have people in different time zones, so I'm just constantly chugging coffee.
She's our oracle, basically.
Well, thank you for answering my email. Mine was blown. I was like, I'm going to email WEBTOON and expect nothing. And then here we are. So thank you.
We have been giddy about this, truly.
No, shout out to Maria for kind of flagging it to me, because I'm otherwise I'd be all over the place. I'm so excited to be here.
So can you tell us a little bit about the origin of this show? How did you all decide to do a slice of life Bat Family series, and who do we have to thank?
So Maria, kind of went into it a little bit when we first began talking to DC about potentially working on a WEBTOON. Maria was like, literally, I think you came to me and was like, can we do Bat Family?
Yeah, it was something that I think a lot of the fans wanted as well. Like, I came from it as sort of like, we have this big chance to do something sort of official, and WEBTOON is kind of a great platform for it because of its accessibility, and it's kind of really well suited to slice of life. So yeah, I think in my mind it just like was the perfect marriage of like a lot of things happening. And I've loved that, like, I love Batman, but I think there's a lot of like fan engagement over the rest of the family, and we don't always get a chance to see them just because of how the storylines are in the serials. So I was like, here's a chance to just see like what happens, like what are they eating for breakfast. People love the characters so much that they're like, I will read episodes of them doing literally anything. So
I read this first, and then I told Chris, this is everything you've ever wanted. They were like, is it? and then they read it and were like, oh my God, you're right.
It's true. It's true. TJ was like, no, this is everything you've asked for. And I was like, that can't be true. And then I read it and I was like, did we manifest this? Because we love it so much.
Yeah. So thank you, Maria. We have you to thank.
Yes.
Yeah. When I was pitching it almost felt too indulgent because I just was so unused to like getting things that, you know, especially as like a queer fan myself. I was like, there's not a lot there. That it's getting much better now, but yes, just being something that is just fulfilling, that just makes you happy. I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Yes.
And you should be.
Yes, you should.
Do either of you have a personal favorite character to focus on, and why?
Oh, I sure do.
Cool, spill it.
My favorite is Damien. I think he's just such a good boy, and he's sort of like, he falls into the trope of like the tsundere, right? So like someone who's very kind of outwardly grumpy, but is just a soft boy underneath, or you know, he's a good boy underneath. And so I've really enjoyed kind of working on the episodes that center around him and his siblings.
Oh my gosh, the moment, I forget what episode, but it cuts to him in the Batmobile and he's like, the message is unclear. It's like one of my favorite parts.
It's so good. Yeah. It's been CRC Payne is the writer of the series, and just like every week I get a script from her, I'm like cracking up, dying, laughing. I'm like, this is gold. And I remember the first time I read that script, I was like, this is amazing. They're gonna love it.
Yeah, even when I drew the storyboards for that, I was like, he has to be kind of grumpy, sitting in the giant like Batmobile seat, and he has to look small and grumpy. And I think it came out really well. And I love, that's one of my favorite moments too.
Yes.
So good.
It's so good. So Duke Thomas, like many characters in DC Comics whose names are not Batman, is sorely underused generally. How did you decide to use him as the point of view character to introduce the WEBTOONs audience to the world?
Yeah, that was something the writer and I talked about. It was just like, we thought about our audience on WEBTOON and how, you know, our readers, they might not be familiar with Batman and the Wayne family in the way that, you know, the fans are. And so we wanted to kind of start, we wanted the series to be told from the point of someone who was new to Wayne Manor. And that's kind of why we decided to go with Duke. But also Duke is just, you know, he's so lovable. We wanted to give him the spotlight.
Yes, we are honestly so delighted. We love Duke around here, and he really doesn't get enough attention.
Yeah, I've barely read anything with him, and every time I'm like, give him something to do. So I'm so glad Duke has something to do these days.
Yes.
So I have a question that I have an opinion on, and I would like to pick your brains about this. Who do you think bought Bruce his world's okayest father mug? Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's Damien, because I don't know, he just calls him father all the time. What do you think?
Damien sounds about right. I mean, the second person I thought it was maybe Jason.
Yeah, that was my theory.
Right.
Yeah, I remember in your episode you mentioned that it was definitely Jason, and I think that might be fitting too.
You listened to our episode?
Of course I listened to the episode.
Oh
I mean, it was
gosh.
delightful. Yeah.
Wow, I'm blushing.
Literally. Oh my gosh. Yes. All right. So my theory is Damien, but I totally see Jason. Like, I guess it's up in the air. Listeners, let us know.
I like how that question was like so serious. It's like the most important part of the series. Who canonically bought the bugs?
Fans want to know.
Yeah.
They have the right to know.
I was like, what's this question gonna be?
And then it was that. Welcome to our show.
It's very important. These are the things we worry about here at Gotham Outsiders.
I love it.
This keeps us up at night. So over in Batman Urban Legends, Tim Drake recently came out as queer. Are there any hopes and or plans to incorporate that aspect of his character into future episodes?
We definitely have been, it's something that the writer and I have been talking about. We kind of want to see how the rest of that arc plays out, but it's definitely something that we are open to because obviously we're very excited.
Yes.
Love
in the group chat, we were like sharing the panels. Like, it's happening.
Same.
We may have thrown an actual party involving champagne that day.
Oh, amazing.
I
Wow.
love that.
And trolled some angry fans on Twitter, but
Yes,
you know.
that was also how we had fun.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I believe there's the next issue is coming out in November, right? The next Tim. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what is going to be in that issue.
Yeah,
Us too.
I think that's a fair answer. Like right now, everyone's kind of playing the waiting game and like just waiting to see what happens. So there hasn't been a current Batgirl established in the Webtoon continuity. What was the thinking behind leaving that mantle unfilled, seeing as Cass is now orphaned, Stephanie is Spoiler, and Barbara is Oracle? Could we see it filled in the future?
Yeah, as you mentioned, or as you asked earlier, I didn't get a chance to answer, but I will say now my favorite character is Cassandra Cain. So
sorry.
Yeah.
No,
sorry, we skipped you.
No, I got distracted by our talk, and you know it kept going. So I was like, but I have to put on the record that I love Cassandra Cain with all my heart. Yeah, that's all. But yeah, for that, we did talk to the writer a little bit about that, and it's mostly up to her. So we sort of worked on that, and she came at it as sort of like Orphan was an identity that Cass had created herself, and Spoiler was an identity that Stephanie had created herself. So she wanted the Batgirls to be like, you know, their own hero, like who they wanted to be, like for their own personal stories. But I think that the Batgirl mantle is something that I'm really interested in. Part of the reason I love the Bat family is the burden of legacy, how they deal with these topics, and like what makes Nightwing so special is that it's his rejection of Batman, not quite rejection, but you know what I mean. It's like he knows that this isn't the mantle for him. Yeah. So I would love to explore that idea, and I think we could have some really, especially with the new Batgirl series coming out. Like I think there's a lot of interest in exploring that kind of Batgirl. I think their relationship is a little bit different from the Robins, so it'll be cool to see if we can talk about that.
So we love your Damian, as we've already mentioned, and we thought it was really important. Like it really struck us that he is presented with a darker complexion, which not all artists do. What was the thought that went behind how you were going to portray him and show his multicultural heritage?
To be honest, it was a really kind of brief discussion. I think I had mentioned that it was funny to me that he's Talia's son and he looks very fair. Yeah. And so that was it was kind of like, well, can we make him darker? Like, can we make that a little bit more accurate? Yes. Almost like not really even to make it a point, but really just like, it'd be cool to get that representation. We have the opportunity to do it. Right. Yeah. And thankfully, like DC's been super supportive, and it's been really kind of wonderful to see the response. I didn't think that there would be such a big response, but I'm glad it struck a chord with our readers.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really lovely when this came out, watching people on Twitter, how it was personal. It was like something really meaningful to them, and so we've been so excited about it over here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to me, it was kind of funny. Just kind of like, what? That's Talia's son? Okay.
Yes. The one that looks like every other Robin?
Yeah.
And it does help distinguish them a bit, because I'm like, they all just look like mini Bruces sometimes.
Right.
It's like they all have their own, vibe. And yeah, when I was working on the designs too that I did, I passed on to the artist and he made his own take on it. But I did look at a lot of fan art and a lot of, the kind of fanon version of these characters, and I think that's like something that we wanted to lean into. So it's really, really nice to see everyone so happy, and like Susan said, to us it was like, this just feels natural. It's like,
right,
why hasn't this happened, kind of thing.
All right, so I have another very important question.
Yeah, okay.
Prepare yourself.
I just sat up straight.
Okay. It wasn't revealed whose superhero merch Damian and Tim received in episode 6, Favoritism. Do either of you have theories about this?
I don't know.
I think Damian may have had Batman stuff, but he would be kind of shy about it, so he would act like he wouldn't have it.
I think he'd wear it like underneath his shirt. You know what I mean? Like he'd have it tucked away.
That's so
Like, I
But
think
to the brothers, maybe he'd be more open about it, but to Bruce, he'd be like, I don't care about you too.
Oh yeah. Like I think he'd be mortified if Bruce knew that he had Batman merch.
My theory is there was one piece of Batman merch and Damian and Tim are just fighting over it.
Oh, yes. Yes. What would Tim have?
That's a good
Batman.
Oracle would be cute, yeah. But this is
Oracle.
Justice League member. But
Oh, that would be cute.
I forgot this was your question. I'm like, it's Batman.
Do you have theories? Is it Batman?
That is my
yes.
theory.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like Tim like idolizes Bruce. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And Damian just to be a little shit would be like, no, I want it.
100%.
And now this series has been such a success. We hear it's getting a motion comic adaptation and a live action adaptation. Can you tease anything about either of these upcoming projects?
We can't say very much about that. And we also really just work on the series. So I honestly don't know a whole lot about what's happening outside of the WEBTOON series itself. Sorry.
No, that's
yeah,
okay.
but like, yeah, when the announcements come out, we get excited like the same as everyone else because we also don't know what's happening. So we're like, oh my god, it's moving. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, you can be excited with us then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're all
yeah.
excited together. That's beautiful.
Yeah, like I'll find out about some of the voiceover work. I don't know if you guys have seen, there have been like voiceover dubs that have been made of Batman Wayne Family Adventures. And I'm always like, oh my God, this is like my dream since I was a kid.
Aww, that's so cool. Oh, love it. Well, our final question is one that we asked every guest that comes on, and it is, do either of you have any Batman hills you will die on? So weirdly specific and or silly things you're passionate about the Bat family?
Oh,
just more Cassandra King, more Kate King, more. I mean, my hill was Bat Family series, so I guess I've sort of happily achieved that. But
you mentioned Kate Kane. I was like, oh my gosh, we still haven't seen her yet, right? I'm like, oh, I'm like anticipating, and I know you listened to our episode, but my like wanting is I'm like, oh, Kate, take Tim to like his first Pride Fest or like a drag show.
God.
That's my, and now you can't use it, but no, I mean because they've heard it.
No,
Yeah,
I know. I'm laughing at you.
I've messed it up for myself, but I had to share.
I'm
I would love to see that
right
more.
now.
Yes,
Ooh.
like even
Yeah.
I mean, in the first episode with the portrait, we even wanted to just make sure like the extended family is part of it too. But there's like there's so many characters that sometimes even when I'm like looking at the script and I get like, here's 6 characters in the scene, I'm like, oh my god, how do I draw everyone so that they all fit and they're all like, you know, they're all getting their accurate time. But like I think a huge part of sort of leaning into the fanness of it is that people want to see everyone and they want to see this big happy family. So yes, the more we can include the other characters, the happier I am as well, and giving them their spotlight. But
I mean, what I can say about the series is that every character, main members of the Bat family, they will be getting their own arc. So you'll kind of see them grappling with like, you know, what, like, who am I outside of my identity as a vigilante superhero? And, you know, just look out for it. Everyone. I'm really excited. But yeah, you'll see kind of everyone get their own storyline essentially.
That sounds
and
incredible.
I think I don't know if this is not really a spoiler because it's up on Fast Pass right now. Like we just had Duke kind of go through his first relationship very fast. You know, so look out for more of that. We're doing look out for that. Really excited.
Yes. If you haven't read it yet, put the money out. It's worth it.
Yeah, yes. We Fast Pass every week. So we're like on it.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are there characters you guys would like to see or plot lines you guys would like to see from the series?
Oh, well, I already played my hand with the with the Pride, Kate and Tim. What about you, Chris?
Oh, I mean, now that Tim is out and John Kent is out, yeah, bring them all in. Let's have all the gays in one episode.
Oh, like a P flag. I want Bruce and Superman at their local P flag supporting their kids.
Yes, with just "I love my gay son" shirts.
Oh,
I love it so much.
Yeah, that is what I want. Other than that, Harper Row. Anytime I see her, I'm happy.
Oh yeah. I always forget about Harper Row.
Everyone always forgets about
Like
Harper Row,
everyone.
and that's why I won't.
Another character I'm like, oh, when are they gonna pop up? Harley Quinn.
Yes.
oh,
Gotta
Oh.
happen.
That's interesting. I actually have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Since
Sure.
this series is so kind of, it's a slice of life and it's kind of more on the wholesome and heartwarming side, would it be weird to have a villain show up?
I was gonna say, if there was a villain that would like fit well in this series, it would probably be the Sirens. Like Catwoman, Harley Quinn, and Ivy. I feel like that's their vibe. Like they are villains, but they're also wholesome in weird ways.
Mhm.
I think it'd be weird if Joker showed up, probably, but I don't think it'd be weird if they did.
Unless they're like punching him in the face at the beginning and then he's just gone.
That's the only way I ever want to see Joker.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like right now Tynan's really making Harley kind of a part of the Bat family in the main Batman title. So like to me it wouldn't be weird, but also I'm like, I just want Harley. So
Yeah.
I'm just a fan, but I feel like she's so mainstream now that people will just eat it up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel like there's like, not to just quote the Harley Quinn TV show, there's like villains that are cable evil and villains that are like regular TV evil, right?
Yeah.
Your Clay Faces and your Solomon Grundys, nobody's gonna like bat an eye if they're in a series like this, but like Dr. Pig, probably not, right? Like
Oh. Yeah, he's gross. We don't want him.
So would Harley be like an aunt
Auntie
of sorts?
Harley.
Yeah,
Auntie.
Oh,
She's the
that'd be-
fun aunt.
She
I mean, I think
is.
they'd
The
all be
three fun
fun.
aunts, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
hear me out. Harley doing therapy sessions for the whole family.
Oh my goodness. It's a Dr. Quinzel version.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
She just kidnaps the Robins and makes them do family therapy.
They all could
Yeah.
probably use some therapy. So.
Yes,
Look,
100%.
I feel like that's what's happening now, though, right? Like Bruce
Yeah.
is trying his best. Please.
He is.
Yes.
He is. He is okayest. He really is.
Yes.
Well, is there anything we haven't covered that you would like to talk about?
Not super specific. I really appreciate you guys checking out the series and like
Aw.
the I read the comments and like stuff like your guys' podcast and everyone's
Aw.
discussion on Twitter and stuff. I just want to thank everyone for reading it because it really has been a sort of project of a lot of love and heart that we put into it.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see that sort of come back and a lot of really, really great. I wish we could talk about it, but there's like a lot of really fun stuff coming out and just
Well, you
thank
are
to
welcome
everyone.
to come back in the future and talk about it if you want to.
Anytime.
Literally anytime.
Yeah.
Truly in return, I want to thank the two of you because this is the story that little kid Chris wanted that now adult Chris gets to have. And it's a big deal to me.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for
yeah.
checking our show out.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I mean, it was really, really fun. I loved how you mentioned in the dub, like they use the Young Justice noise, and I was trying to place what that was. I was like, that
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
so much
When
Googling,
I played
yes.
that little clip, I was like, they did the thing.
right?
It just means so much to be that you guys love it and to be talking to you guys about it because we've sort of been working on this kind of in a vacuum for the past year, and so it's great to be able to kind of share the joy.
Yes.
So thanks for having us.
Of course. I mean, like I said, it's such a success. And I think that's because of all the heart you guys are putting into it.
Yes.
I think it shows and like everyone is loving it because of that heart. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and I want to mention the artists who work on the project in addition to us. So there's Starbite who does the inks. There's Lanma, and we actually have, have a new background artist. Yeah. We're having some other people join. Kiela does letters, and
of course, the art team has been just incredible to work with. And like I said, everyone's kind of all over the place, and it feels kind of like a tiny miracle that I was able to find everyone. I feel super blessed. Our background artist Lanma, she's from Beijing, and she's been doing the backgrounds. Maria, you found Kiela, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually was looking for letters, and I looked and there's a database called the Cartoonist of Color database, and I clicked on the tag superhero, and Kiela's picture popped up, and it looked so. And then I went to her Twitter page, and she'd done an entire Batman fan comic that she'd lettered and drawn herself, and I was like, okay, email. Like, I was
that is so cool.
Most perfect thing ever. Yeah, and I was so happy to be able to like tell her what the project was, and she was really excited. So stuff like that. It's just like I think Susan also worked on this as well. Like, we wanted people that were fans as well, because that's sort of the through line of this project is.
Oh yeah.
It absolutely shows in all the best ways that this is something you love, that love radiates out. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. You found CRC Payne through Susan.
Huh?
CRC Payne was someone who'd done a lot of fan work before, and I just wanted to point that out because she was the one who included the coffee addict thing.
Oh, yay!
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, needed to finally be canon.
Yes.
And everyone is doing a great job, of course. Like, the art is fantastic. The colors are beautiful. The writing is hysterical. Like, everyone all around. Thank you. Not just you two, to the entire team. Thank you all.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go through the names. Because I messed up the last time. So here we go. Here's Starbite on ink, CRC Payne writing. I'm on boards. Lanma's on backgrounds. Jean Kim, one of our in-house artists at WEBTOON, did flats. Kayla Mel Sabal on lettering. Production, our Susan Oracle here, and also Will Kennedy from our in-house team. Kind of makes it all happen. But yes, amazing team. They're all really excited. Every week we sort of we post previews of the comic, and we all get excited together. So it's good times. But yes,
we also have Susie Blake, who's on backgrounds now. We have CM Cameron, who's doing colors. It's just a massive team. So as you can imagine, my inbox is gnarly, but we have this kind of group thread going where we share memes with one another, and it's a good time. So it's not all work.
That sounds so lovely.
It takes a team of real superheroes to make this comic. So
yes. 1000%.
Maybe the Bat family was the friends we made along the way.
Yes,
that's right, Maria.
Well, thank you both so much for coming on. Where can our listeners find you on social media? And if you want to plug anything, like any other upcoming projects, please feel free to.
I'm Susan Cheng. You can find me on Twitter at @scheng_. I hate the underscore, but it's there. And then I think the other project that I wanted to plug, definitely, if you love comics, you got to check out Big Ethel Energy on WEBTOON. It is.
I just subscribed to that.
Really? That makes
yes.
It's our first collab with Archie Comics, and it's about our girl Ethel.
Yes.
And kind of her glow up post college. So.
I do have to say, I also just subscribed to that.
Yes.
I've been on a WEBTOON kick.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, the Wayne Family Adventures was a gateway drug for both of us. We're now we're in deep on WEBTOONs.
Like, I was already into Castle Swimmer and Heartstopper, but now I'm a monster.
Are there series that you guys are reading right now that I'm just curious? Like,
I have to scream about Exception. That's Exception with an A.
Yes,
it is about this teenager who is experimenting with gender expression, and it's just just like, it's slice of life too, and it's so moving. I think it's like 178 episodes already, and I've read them all in like 2 days because it's so addictive. I love that one 1,000%.
I already mentioned Castle Swimmer, which love it. Go check it out, everyone. It's gay mermaids. But my other favorite right now is The Prince of Southland. It's so good.
I love all the gay series popping out here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I pretty much
know our audience.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yes.
I think both of us pretty much exclusively read gay ones. So
I mean, we got to balance it out. There's tons of people that read just hetero. So
yeah, not us
Yeah.
though. The other one I have to shout out is Covenant, which is every single character in it is queer. That it was a like selling point of it. There are no
I just
straight
started
people.
that.
And they're monster hunting gay priests, and I love them.
No.
Yes, also an amazing one, and more. I think the imagery of like Catholicism and gayness is always like really interesting.
Yes, and it's like priest garb, but also like what do you call it? I just forgot what the name is. They're crop tops. Yes, priest garb crop tops. I just love it.
Yes, you can find me also on Twitter. It's Rowan Knox. It's kind of a little bit. It's not my name at all, but you know that's how Twitter is. And a project, I mean, it's not coming out, it's actually fully released, but it's one of Susan's produced projects. It's called Kind of Love, and it's an anthology all about different love stories. And there are queer ones, and there's happy ones, there's sad ones. And it was a really cool project that had a lot of great artists, and Susan worked very, very hard on it. And it's one of my favorites. So wanted to talk about that. Yeah.
Fun fact, Starbite, who draws Batman, actually worked on Kind of Love.
Ooh.
Yes.
Way back in the day, 2019, so like eons ago.
In the before times. Yes.
Oh yes,
In
those
the
times.
before times.
Mm-hmm.
That's so awesome. Well, thank you both for coming. It's been such a joy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been great.
it's been
talking to
really
you.
exciting.
Thanks so much for having us again.
If you're enjoying this conversation about queer webtoons, you can check out my new podcast with former guest Bronwyn called Thirsty on Toon. Here's the promo. Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Bronwyn.
And together we are Thirsty on Toon.
Thought.
Thought, which of course means that himbo over there.
Obviously.
Obviously. And we're a new show from the Talking Comics family.
Bringing you comics from webtoons and maybe a little tapas when you want to get a little spicier.
Yes, but only a little spicier. Still very censored.
Very censored.
Not us, though. Completely uncensored over here.
Very, very uncensored over here.
And we have 3 guiding principles of our show that we want to introduce you to. The first being that webcomics deserve as much love as regular comics.
Abso-friggin-lutely.
The second is that everything should be gay.
Always.
The
Always.
gayer, the better.
And let's be honest, everything is, at least a little.
Yes.
The third principle, of course, is squeeze. Because you're going to get a lot of that.
You're going to get the most of that ever. And why are we podcasting together, Bronwyn?
Well, we figured that since we were recording a podcast over Snapchat on the daily to each other, we might as well organize.
Yes, we should let other people hear it.
And welcome to the wonderful world of Webtoon.
Yes, welcome to Webtoons with us, with our squeeing and our enjoyment of all things gay.
Absolutely. And enjoy it, we do.
Oh, we do. We're going to enjoy it. And you can enjoy it with us. And if you want to enjoy it along with us, what should they read for our first episode?
Well, our first episode is on My Gentle Giant, which is just the sweetest, most adorable little gay story that ever existed.
Absolutely the gayest, the sweetest, and we will squee about it.
Yes. Oh, yes. There
So
will be squee.
come be thoughts with us.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Join us.
Join us.